Question 1. A driver stopped by a California Highway Patrol officer for a traffic violation is required to A. Provide verbal identification only if requested. B. Remain silent until an attorney is present. C. Present their driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance upon demand. D. Exit the vehicle immediately and wait by the roadside. Answer: C. Present their driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance upon demand. Drivers in California are legally obligated to present their valid driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of financial responsibility, insurance, when requested by a law enforcement officer during a traffic stop. This requirement ensures that all drivers on the road are properly licensed, the vehicle is legally registered, and there is coverage for potential accidents, promoting overall public safety. Failing to provide these documents can result in additional citations or legal consequences, so always have them readily accessible. Question 2. What is the primary purpose of the Move Over law in California? A. To allow faster vehicles to pass slower ones on multi-lane highways. B. To encourage drivers to change lanes frequently to avoid fatigue. C. To protect emergency personnel and tow truck drivers stopped on the roadside. D. To designate specific lanes for carpoolers during peak hours. Answer: C. To protect emergency personnel and tow truck drivers stopped on the roadside. The Move Over law in California mandates that drivers, when safe to do so, move to an adjacent lane or slow down when approaching a stationary emergency vehicle or tow truck displaying flashing warning lights on the shoulder or side of the road. This law is crucial for the safety of first responders, law enforcement officers, and tow truck operators who are often vulnerable while assisting motorists or managing incidents. Observing this law helps prevent tragic accidents by creating a safer buffer zone for those working to keep roads clear and safe. Question 3. In California, what is the legal blood alcohol content (BAC) limit for drivers age 21 or older operating a non-commercial vehicle? A. 0.05%. B. 0.08%. C. 0.1%. D. 0.02%. Answer: B. 0.08%. For drivers age 21 and older operating a non-commercial vehicle in California, it is illegal to drive with a blood alcohol content (BAC) of 0.08% or higher. This, per se, limit means that even if a driver feels unimpaired, a BAC at or above this level constitutes a DUI offense due to the scientifically proven effects of alcohol on driving ability. Maintaining a clear understanding of BAC limits is crucial for responsible driving and ensuring everyone's safety on the roads. Question 4. What is the minimum following distance generally recommended under ideal driving conditions in California? A. 1 second rule. B. 2 second rule. C. 3 second rule. D. 4 second rule. Answer: C. 3 second rule. The 3 second rule is the minimum following distance recommended under ideal driving conditions in California, providing drivers with adequate time and space to react to sudden changes in traffic. To use this rule, a driver chooses a fixed point ahead, like a sign or overpass, and then counts how many seconds it takes to reach that point after the vehicle ahead of them passes it. This essential safety practice helps prevent rear-end collisions, which are among the most common types of traffic accidents. Question 5. Which of the following is considered a primary enforcement seatbelt law violation in California? A. Only the driver is cited for not wearing a seatbelt. B. An officer can stop a vehicle solely for a seatbelt violation. C. Seatbelt violations can only be cited if another traffic offense occurs. D. Children under 8 years old are exempt from seatbelt laws. Answer: B. An officer can stop a vehicle solely for a seatbelt violation. California has a primary enforcement seatbelt law, which means a law enforcement officer can stop a vehicle and issue a citation solely because a driver or passenger is not wearing a seatbelt. This type of law allows officers to enforce seatbelt usage directly, without needing to observe another traffic infraction first. Seatbelts are a critical safety device, and this law emphasizes the importance of their consistent use in preventing serious injuries and fatalities during collisions. Question 6. In California, when can a driver legally make a U-turn? A. Anytime there is no U-turn sign. B. Only at intersections with a green arrow signal. C. Where there are no vehicles approaching within 200 feet, and it's safe to do so. D. Only on residential streets with a single solid yellow line. Answer: C. Where there are no vehicles approaching within 200 feet, and it's safe to do so. A driver can legally make a U-turn in California if it is safe to do so, there are no vehicles approaching within 200 feet, and there are no signs prohibiting it. U-turns must be executed carefully and without interfering with other traffic, ensuring a clear path and sufficient visibility. This rule prioritizes safety and smooth traffic flow, preventing sudden maneuvers that could lead to collisions. Question 7. What is the maximum speed limit for a vehicle towing a trailer on most California highways, unless otherwise posted? A. 55 miles per hour. B. 65 miles per hour. C. 70 miles per hour. D. 45 miles per hour. Answer: A. 55 miles per hour. In California, the maximum speed limit for a vehicle towing a trailer, or any other vehicle, is 55 miles per hour on most highways, unless a lower speed limit is specifically posted. This reduced speed limit is a safety measure, recognizing that vehicles towing trailers require longer stopping distances and have different handling characteristics. Adhering to this limit is crucial for maintaining control and ensuring the safety of all road users, particularly when operating heavier and less agile combinations. Question 8. When is it permissible to pass another vehicle on the right in California? A. Only on a multi-lane highway when the vehicle ahead is signaling a left turn. B. When the vehicle ahead is preparing to make a right turn. C. Never, passing on the right is always illegal in California. D. When you are in a dedicated right turn lane and plan to go straight. Answer: A. Only on a multi-lane highway when the vehicle ahead is signaling a left turn. Passing on the right is generally discouraged and often unsafe, but it is permissible in California under specific conditions, when the vehicle ahead is making or preparing to make a left turn, and there is sufficient unobstructed pavement to its right. This rule ensures that drivers have a clear path and avoids creating a hazardous situation by maneuvering around a vehicle slowing or stopping for a left turn. Always exercise extreme caution and ensure ample space when passing on the right to maintain road safety. Question 9. What is the purpose of a smog check in California? A. To inspect the vehicle's braking system and tires. B. To verify the vehicle meets emission standards for air quality. C. To check the vehicle's structural integrity after an accident. D. To determine the vehicle's market value for registration purposes. Answer: B. To verify the vehicle meets emission standards for air quality. A smog check in California is an inspection program designed to ensure vehicles meet the state's stringent emission standards, which is critical for maintaining air quality and reducing pollution. Most vehicles are required to pass a smog check every 2 years before their registration can be renewed, and also when they are sold. This mandatory inspection plays a vital role in protecting public health and the environment by limiting harmful pollutants released from vehicle exhaust. Question 10. How far must a driver be parked from a fire hydrant in California, unless otherwise marked? A. 10 feet. B. 15 feet. C. 20 feet. D. 25 feet. Answer: B. 15 feet. In California, drivers are generally prohibited from parking within 15 feet of a fire hydrant, whether it is painted or not, unless there is an authorized sign that specifically permits it. This regulation is crucial for public safety, ensuring that fire department personnel have unobstructed access to hydrants during emergencies. Blocking a fire hydrant, even partially, can impede firefighting efforts and jeopardize lives and property, so always maintain the required distance. Question 11. Which of the following is true regarding cell phone use while driving for adults in California? A. Handheld cell phone use is permitted only in emergencies. B. Drivers may use a handheld cell phone if it's placed on speaker mode. C. Hands-free cell phone use is generally permitted, but handheld use is prohibited. D. All cell phone use, including hands-free, is prohibited while driving. Answer: C. Hands-free cell phone use is generally permitted, but handheld use is prohibited. In California, adults 18 and over are permitted to use a cell phone for voice communication while driving only if it is in a hands-free manner, meaning they can activate or deactivate the phone or its functions with a single tap or swipe while the device is mounted. Holding a cell phone to talk or text is strictly prohibited due to the significant distraction it poses, which impairs a driver's ability to safely operate a vehicle. Prioritizing focus on the road by avoiding distractions is a fundamental aspect of safe driving. Question 12. What action should a driver take if their vehicle begins to hydroplane? A. Brake hard and steer sharply in the opposite direction of the skid. B. Accelerate rapidly to regain traction. C. Ease off the accelerator, keep the steering wheel straight, and avoid braking suddenly. D. Shift into a lower gear and maintain current speed. Answer: C. Ease off the accelerator, keep the steering wheel straight, and avoid braking suddenly. If a vehicle begins to hydroplane, the correct action is to gently ease off the accelerator, keep the steering wheel straight, and avoid sudden braking or steering movements. Hydroplaning occurs when a layer of water builds between the tires and the road surface, causing the vehicle to lose traction and float. Gradual, smooth inputs allow the tires to regain contact with the road, minimizing the risk of losing control, so always react calmly and deliberately. Question 13. When approaching a flashing red traffic light, a driver must: A. Slow down and proceed with caution. B. Stop completely, then proceed when safe, similar to a stop sign. C. Yield to oncoming traffic, then continue without stopping. D. Maintain speed and be prepared to stop. Answer: B. Stop completely, then proceed when safe, similar to a stop sign. A flashing red traffic light must be treated exactly like a stop sign. The driver must come to a complete stop before the white limit line or crosswalk, or before entering the intersection. After stopping, the driver must yield the right-of-way to all cross-traffic and pedestrians, proceeding only when it is safe to do so. This signal indicates a potentially hazardous intersection, requiring maximum caution to prevent collisions. Question 14. What is the Good Samaritan law in California, in the context of aiding someone in an emergency? A. It legally obligates every person to provide assistance in an emergency. B. It protects individuals from liability when providing reasonable, good faith emergency care without compensation. C. It only applies to medical professionals providing care outside of a hospital setting. D. It allows anyone to use force to prevent harm to another person, without legal repercussions. Answer: B. It protects individuals from liability when providing reasonable, good faith emergency care without compensation. The Good Samaritan law in California offers legal protection to individuals who voluntarily provide reasonable, good faith emergency medical or non-medical care to others without expecting compensation, shielding them from liability for any unintended harm. This law encourages people to assist others in emergencies by reducing the fear of legal repercussions if their efforts, made with good intentions, do not result in a perfect outcome. It promotes a spirit of helpfulness and community safety, recognizing that timely aid can be crucial. Question 15. A California provisional driver's license, for drivers under 18, comes with specific restrictions. Which of the following is generally not a restriction during the first 12 months? A. Driving between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. B. Transporting passengers under 20 years old. C. Driving commercial vehicles. D. Driving without adult supervision for personal errands. Answer: C. Driving commercial vehicles. A California provisional driver's license for drivers under 18 typically restricts driving between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., and transporting passengers under 20 years old, unless accompanied by a licensed adult or under specific exemptions. The restriction on driving commercial vehicles is a universal rule for all non-commercial licenses, not a specific restriction unique to the provisional license's initial 12-month period. These provisional restrictions are designed to gradually introduce new drivers to complex driving situations, enhancing their safety and the safety of others by limiting high-risk scenarios. Question 16. What should a driver do if they are involved in a traffic collision that results in injury or death, or property damage exceeding $1,000? A. Only exchange insurance information with the other party. B. Report the accident to the California Highway Patrol, CHP, or local police and file a report with the DMV within 10 days. C. Only report it to their insurance company. D. Move the vehicles immediately to clear traffic, then leave the scene. Answer: B. Report the accident to the California Highway Patrol, CHP, or local police and file a report with the DMV within 10 days. In California, if a driver is involved in a traffic collision that results in injury or death, or property damage exceeding $1,000, they are legally required to report the incident to the California Highway Patrol, CHP, or local police and file a traffic accident report, SR1, with the Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, within 10 days. This mandatory reporting ensures that official records are created, allowing for proper investigation, insurance claims, and data collection for road safety improvements. Failing to follow these procedures can lead to serious legal consequences. Question 17. The basic speed law in California states that you must never drive faster than A. The posted speed limit, regardless of conditions. B. Is safe for current conditions, even if that means driving slower than the posted limit. C. The maximum speed limit of 65 miles per hour on any highway. D. The speed of traffic around you. Answer: B. Is safe for current conditions, even if that means driving slower than the posted limit. California's basic speed law mandates that drivers must never drive faster than what is safe for current road and weather conditions, regardless of the posted speed limit. This means that even if the speed limit is 65 miles per hour, a driver must reduce their speed in rain, fog, heavy traffic, or around hazards to maintain control and avoid collisions. This fundamental safety principle emphasizes personal responsibility in adapting driving to real-world circumstances to prevent accidents. Question 18. What is the minimum age to be issued a California Class C driver's license, non-commercial, not provisional? A. 16 years old. B. 17 years old. C. 18 years old. D. 21 years old. Answer: C. 18 years old. To be issued a standard, non-provisional Class C driver's license in California, an individual must be at least 18 years old. While provisional licenses are available to 16 and 17-year-olds with specific restrictions, the full, unrestricted Class C license requires reaching the age of majority. This age requirement ensures that drivers have generally gained more experience and maturity before operating a vehicle without the provisional limitations. Question 19. What does a flashing yellow traffic light indicate? A. Stop completely, then proceed when safe. B. Proceed with caution. C. Speed up to clear the intersection quickly. D. Yield to all traffic before proceeding. Answer: B. Proceed with caution. A flashing yellow traffic light serves as a warning, indicating that drivers should proceed through the intersection with caution. Unlike a flashing red light, a complete stop is not required. However, drivers must be alert to potential hazards, cross-traffic, or pedestrians. This signal emphasizes the need for heightened awareness and readiness to react to unforeseen circumstances, promoting careful navigation through potentially complex intersections. Question 20. When an emergency vehicle approaches with flashing lights and siren activated, what should a driver do? A. Speed up to get out of its way. B. Pull over to the right edge of the road and stop. C. Continue driving at the same speed and yield at the next intersection. D. Slow down and activate hazard lights. Answer: B. Pull over to the right edge of the road and stop. When an emergency vehicle approaches with flashing lights and an activated siren, drivers are legally required to immediately pull over to the right edge of the road and stop, remaining there until the emergency vehicle has passed. This critical action ensures a clear path for emergency responders, allowing them to reach their destination as quickly and safely as possible. Always prioritize the unhindered passage of emergency vehicles, as their timely arrival can be life-saving. Question 21. What is the legal requirement for headlights in California when visibility is reduced? A. Headlights must be used from sunset to sunrise. B. Headlights must be used anytime visibility is less than 1,000 feet. C. Headlights must be used anytime wipers are on due to rain or snow. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. In California, drivers are legally required to use their headlights from sunset to sunrise, anytime visibility is less than 1,000 feet, and anytime their windshield wipers are on due to rain, snow, or fog. These regulations ensure that vehicles are visible to other drivers and that the driver has adequate illumination to see the road ahead, significantly reducing the risk of collisions in adverse conditions. Making headlight use a habit when conditions are anything less than clear daylight is a simple yet effective safety measure. Question 22. In California, how long do new residents have to register their vehicles after establishing residency? A. 10 days. B. 20 days. C. 30 days. D. 60 days. Answer: B. 20 days. New residents to California are required to register their vehicles with the California Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, within 20 days of establishing residency. This regulation ensures that all vehicles operating on California roads are properly accounted for, meet state standards, and contribute to state revenue through registration fees. Timely registration is a key responsibility for new residents, avoiding penalties and maintaining legal vehicle status. Question 23. What is the maximum fine for a first offense of driving without proof of financial responsibility, insurance, in California? A. $100. B. $200. C. $500. D. $1,000. Answer: B. $200. For a first offense of driving without proof of financial responsibility, insurance, in California, the base fine is typically $200, though this amount can significantly increase with additional court fees and penalties, often exceeding $700. Financial responsibility laws ensure that drivers can cover potential damages if they are involved in an accident, protecting all road users. Always carrying valid proof of insurance is a critical legal requirement for safe and responsible driving. Question 24. What is the primary function of a curb painted white? A. Loading zone for freight only. B. Passenger loading and unloading only. C. Designated for short-term parking, e.g., 5 minutes. D. No parking allowed at any time. Answer: B. Passenger loading and unloading only. A white painted curb indicates a zone specifically designated for passenger loading and unloading only, often with a time limit that allows just enough time for passengers to enter or exit the vehicle. Drivers must remain with their vehicle in these areas and move once loading/unloading is complete. Understanding curb colors is essential for lawful parking and maintaining efficient traffic flow, especially in busy areas. Question 25. What is the purpose of the California Driver Handbook? A. To provide a list of all California traffic laws. B. To serve as a guide for safe driving practices and prepare individuals for the written driving test. C. To outline the responsibilities of law enforcement officers. D. To detail vehicle maintenance schedules and requirements. Answer: B. To serve as a guide for safe driving practices and prepare individuals for the written driving test. The California Driver Handbook is an essential resource published by the DMV that serves as a comprehensive guide for safe driving practices, outlining traffic laws, road signs, and responsible driver behavior. Its primary purpose is to educate new and experienced drivers, helping them understand the rules of the road and successfully pass the written examination required for a driver's license. Thoroughly studying this handbook is the foundational step for anyone seeking to drive legally and safely in California. Question 26. When must a pedestrian use a crosswalk? A. Only if one is available within 300 feet. B. Only if one is available within 50 feet. C. Anytime they are crossing a street at an intersection. D. Only when a walk signal is displayed. Answer: C. Anytime they are crossing a street at an intersection. In California, pedestrians are legally required to use a crosswalk whenever they are crossing a street at an intersection, especially if marked. Jaywalking, which is crossing outside of a crosswalk or against a signal, is illegal and highly dangerous, significantly increasing the risk of being hit by a vehicle. This rule protects pedestrians by guiding them to designated, safer crossing points where drivers are often expecting them. Question 27. What does a diamond-shaped traffic sign typically indicate? A. Regulatory information, e.g., stop, yield. B. Warning of potential hazards or upcoming road conditions. C. Directional guidance for highways. D. Information about services or recreation areas. Answer: B. Warning of potential hazards or upcoming road conditions. Diamond-shaped traffic signs are universally recognized as warning signs, indicating potential hazards or upcoming road conditions that require a driver's attention and caution. These signs alert drivers to things like curves ahead, pedestrian crossings, animal crossings, or construction zones, allowing them to adjust their driving behavior in advance. Paying close attention to warning signs is crucial for anticipating and safely navigating changing road environments. Question 28. How often must a California driver's license be renewed? A. Every 5 years. B. Every 10 years. C. Every 15 years. D. Every 20 years. Answer: A. Every 5 years. A California driver's license must typically be renewed every 5 years to ensure that the driver's information is current and that they continue to meet the state's driving requirements. This regular renewal process often involves an updated photo, and sometimes a vision test or a knowledge test, depending on the driver's age and record. Keeping your license current is a fundamental responsibility of every driver, maintaining your legal privilege to operate a vehicle. Question 29. What is the legal limit for tinting on a vehicle's front side windows in California? A. No tinting is allowed on front side windows. B. Must allow at least 70% light transmittance. C. Must allow at least 50% light transmittance. D. Tinting is only restricted on the windshield. Answer: B. Must allow at least 70% light transmittance. In California, the law states that the front side windows of a vehicle, the ones on either side of the driver, must allow at least 70% of light to pass through them, meaning they can only be lightly tinted. This regulation ensures that officers can clearly see into the vehicle, and drivers have unobstructed visibility, which are both crucial for safety and law enforcement. Adhering to tinting laws is important for legal compliance and for maintaining clear lines of sight. Question 30. What should a driver do if they encounter a school bus with flashing red lights and a deployed stop sign arm? A. Pass the bus carefully if there is no oncoming traffic. B. Only stop if children are actively crossing the street. C. Stop completely, regardless of the direction of travel, and remain stopped until the lights stop flashing and the arm is retracted. D. Slow down and prepare to stop only if on a two-lane road. Answer: C. Stop completely, regardless of the direction of travel, and remain stopped until the lights stop flashing and the arm is retracted. When a school bus displays flashing red lights and extends its stop sign arm, all drivers, regardless of their direction of travel, unless on a divided highway with a barrier, must stop completely and remain stopped. This critical safety measure protects children who are entering or exiting the bus and crossing the street. Failing to stop for a school bus is a serious offense that endangers young lives and carries significant penalties, so always prioritize the safety of children. Question 31. What does it mean to yield the right of way? A. To immediately stop and wait for all other vehicles. B. To allow other vehicles or pedestrians to proceed before you. C. To accelerate to merge into traffic. D. To proceed cautiously, but without stopping, if the path is clear. Answer: B. To allow other vehicles or pedestrians to proceed before you. To yield the right of way means to allow other vehicles, pedestrians, or cyclists to proceed first when there is a potential for conflict, such as at an intersection or merge point. This action involves slowing down, and stopping if necessary, to ensure that the path is clear before you continue. Yielding is a fundamental principle of safe driving, preventing collisions by clearly defining who has priority in various traffic situations. Question 32. What is the consequence of accumulating too many points on a California driving record? A. A warning letter from the DMV. B. Requirement to attend traffic school. C. Suspension or revocation of the driver's license. D. Increased vehicle registration fees. Answer: C. Suspension or revocation of the driver's license. Accumulating too many points on a California driving record, which are assigned for traffic violations and at-fault accidents, can lead to the suspension or revocation of the driver's license. The DMV uses a negligent operator treatment system to identify drivers who pose a risk, and accumulating 4 points in 12 months, 6 points in 24 months, or 8 points in 36 months can trigger a license action. Maintaining a clean driving record is crucial for retaining your driving privilege and ensures you are a responsible road user. Question 33. What is the implied consent law in California regarding DUI? A. Drivers consent to a sobriety test only if they believe they are impaired. B. By driving on California roads, you automatically consent to chemical testing, blood, breath, or urine, if arrested for DUI. C. Law enforcement must obtain a warrant before conducting any DUI sobriety tests. D. Drivers have the right to refuse all DUI tests without consequence. Answer: B. By driving on California roads, you automatically consent to chemical testing, blood, breath, or urine, if arrested for DUI. California's implied consent law states that by simply driving a vehicle on the state's public roads, a driver automatically consents to chemical testing of their blood, breath, or urine if lawfully arrested for driving under the influence, DUI. Refusing such a test can lead to immediate license suspension and other penalties, regardless of whether impairment is proven. This law is a critical tool in DUI enforcement, helping to ensure that impaired drivers are identified and removed from the road, promoting public safety. Question 34. When must a driver use turn signals in California? A. Only when changing lanes on a freeway. B. Only when turning at an intersection. C. Anytime they change lanes, turn, merge, or exit a freeway, and before pulling away from a curb. D. Only when there are other vehicles nearby. Answer, C. Anytime they change lanes, turn, merge, or exit a freeway, and before pulling away from a curb. Drivers in California are legally required to use their turn signals anytime they intend to change lanes, turn at an intersection, merge into traffic, exit a freeway, or pull away from a curb. The signal must be activated at least 100 feet before the maneuver, or 5 seconds before changing lanes on a freeway, to provide other drivers ample warning of your intentions. Proper use of turn signals is a fundamental safety practice that prevents collisions by communicating your actions to others on the road. Question 35. What is the general rule for using the left lane on a multi-lane highway in California? A. It is exclusively for carpool vehicles. B. It is generally reserved for passing other vehicles or for turning left. C. It is for slow-moving vehicles to keep right. D. It is for drivers who prefer to drive at the maximum speed limit. Answer, B. It is generally reserved for passing other vehicles or for turning left. On multi-lane highways in California, the leftmost lane, often called the fast lane, is generally reserved for passing slower vehicles or for preparing to make a left turn. The expectation is that drivers will keep right and only use the left lane to overtake other traffic, returning to a right-hand lane once the maneuver is complete. This slower traffic keep right principle enhances traffic flow and reduces congestion, ensuring that faster-moving vehicles can pass safely.